Hey everyone, Grant here from Spectra Racing. So that run was from Gingerman Raceway for Grid Life Rev Up. So that was event number 2 for me after doing Carolina Motorsports Park. So the car ran great. Again, no intake air temperature problems, even though it was very warm that day. It got up into mid 80s. So overall, I think I placed about mid-pack, maybe towards the back end of Street Mod. I'm just happy the car is running great, not last place. But kind of the purpose of this, the video, is a lot of the prep that I did for this. This track was 1,200 miles away from me, so I wanted to make sure I had the best possible chance to get a decent lap time, along with, obviously prepping the car a lot and making sure it actually ran because it was 1,200 miles away. So, as you know, for many years I'd been running the crappy wooden setup simulator. It was a Logitech G920 with a crappy little shifter. I have been running VR for a while, but I switched to a curved monitor. The VR is just kind of a pain, especially with glasses, and a lot of the games don't necessarily support it. I prefer the monitor setup. But recently, in preparation for this event, I upgraded to the Track Racer TR120. So it's kind of a sim frame that you buy and put together. It took 3 whole days to put together. Along with that, I went to Fanatec setup. So it's a 12 nanometer force feedback, the Club Sport wheel and pedals. Along with, I did not get their shifter. It was out of stock. So I went with the Moses shifter and a Moza handbrake. Don't really use that for sim racing. As you can see, it's also kind of set up for Star Citizen with the flight sticks, the quick release stuff, which works fine. Some of the other custom things I did is I put a fan there, mostly just to stop me from getting too warm. So that it kind of adds to the realism a little bit. And the seat that I'm using is actually an old Mustang seat with Mustang harnesses that I used to run, and it really adds to the authenticity, but we'll get into that in a second. Okay, so was the upgrade to a much better sim setup worth it? I think the short answer is yes. The long answer is maybe. So one of the big things, so when coming at least to Gingerman itself, the first couple laps out there, I think I ran like a 145. Compared to some of the people that had never been there before, were much slower. One thing though with the sim is, like a lot of things, you have to calibrate everything to kind of get it working correctly. The car that I'm using is like an FR500 modified car that I found, and I modified the transmission ratios to be similar. And the track is also someone made. It wasn't a developer made track. And the track itself was close but not perfect, and one of the problems with the track, the digital version of the track, was one of the digital version had like a decreasing or increasing radius turn that was much more severe in the game itself than it was in real life. So I actually found the real life track a lot easier than the digital version. And one of the problems though is that I think I was eating a lot of time there because I was slowing down because I had taught myself in the sim to not overcook those turns, because you end up just driving off in the grass because of the increasing radius or decreasing radius. So that was kind of a problem, and kind of teaching yourself. Sometimes going in blank may not be a bad thing, but I will say though, in the many years I've been doing this, I think this is one of my better looking videos. I'm sure there's probably people that are better drivers that point out lots of flaws here and there, coasting, probably braking a little bit too early. Those sorts of things, but line-wise, I feel like that one was very clean in real life compared to some of the other events that I've done. But one of the things that I've noticed with the sim to make it much more translatable into real life is trying to make it as realistic as possible. With that, the Mustang seat, the harnesses, wearing gloves, racing shoes, it all looks ridiculous when you're, in the simulator at home. And along with, I think I forgot to mention, the simulator's using 34-inch monitors. So a lot of people like to use they're a little bit cheaper, but like the 27-inch monitors, using 3 of those. The 34-inch curved ones, they're a little bit taller, so they're a little bit more realistic field of view for like windshields in a car. and I found that a lot better. In the sitting in the sim, it feels like you're really there. The bezels, you get used to those, and there's like bezel kits and stuff you can get that kind of get rid of them. I know with like VR and stuff, you can actually turn your head and stuff. With these curved monitors, the field of view is pretty natural, I feel like, as opposed to having to strap some screen to your face and sweaty face and stuff. I'm just not a big fan of VR, and I was an early adopter a long time ago. But other than that, the setup seems to be working pretty good. I will continue to be using it for Road America for my next race. But that's it. Thanks for watching.